Greetings and welcome to the video on descriptive versus inferential statistics. Let me take just a moment to get this on the board here for us. Descriptive versus inferential statistics. This will mostly be a review for us, but as we're moving into kind of the third section of this course, I just want to go back and really just re-emphasize a few things here. So just by way of review, let's just define again what statistics is from a definition standpoint. So really, what are statistics? It's really just an applied branch of mathematics. So branch of applied mathematics. Well, other than just being a branch of applied mathematics, what is the purpose of it? It's really the general purpose of statistics is to describe or make decisions. Describe and or make decisions about your observational units. Observational units. And these observational units, I'll put this in parentheses, generally mean people, because that's generally what we're working with in the kinesiological sciences. Okay, so that's it. Statistics, a branch of applied mathematics, and we're really trying to either describe, and I'm going to underline this. Let's do it in just kind of a different color here, but these are the two key words. You're describing your observational units or you're making decisions about your observational units. And we've spent really the majority of the first section, well, not the majority, really all of section 1 and section 2 of this course, kind of in this area right here, which was the kind of the descriptive statistics side of things. And if you recall, descriptive statistics, and just kind of general list here, we had things like the mean, we talked about the median, we talked about the mode. I'm not going to have an exhaustive list here, but we talked about things like, the range. We talked about, variance. We talked about standard deviation and other things. We had, graphing things in here and histograms and box plots, and we talked about the normal curve. Lots of different things, but we were really still kind of all on this descriptive side of the equation. And now what we want to be able to do is we want to take this kind of tools that we have and we want to move now and map these tools over to what's now called the inferential statistics side of things. And over here, these are going to be things like the techniques will be things like, the t-test, things like, the analysis of variance or ANOVA technique. There's more advanced techniques. We won't get to them in this class. We'll talk about a t-test, and if we're lucky, we'll get to the ANOVA. But you would have things like, MANOVA, if you see these in articles, and ANCOVA, analysis of covariance, and MANCOVA. So MANOVA is a multivariate analysis of variance, and then MANCOVA would be multivariate analysis of covariance. These are all just techniques. Whereas the descriptive list over here, these are meant to simply describe our data. Describe our data. these over here, what we're trying to do is make inferences about sample data. Okay, so I guess by way of kind of showing a graphical example of this, what we might do is we might find, say, we might have a large circle here, and this large circle represents the population of a certain n size, and there's units in here. There's people. Think of it as a pot of beans if you wanted to. And from this pot of beans, what you want to do, because you can't test all of these human subjects in the population, so you're going to take a smaller sample, right? And this sample will be a lowercase n, and it's going to be a smaller pot of beans. That's a sub population of this larger population of beans, and there'll be some smaller beans in here. And what you're going to want to do is, from this smaller sample of beans, you'll collect something like, the mean, or you'll collect the variance, or you collect the standard deviation, or whatever it is that you're going to collect. And from this value, and the value that we're generally interested in is the mean, you want to infer things that you find about the mean of this sample back to the population. And the process of doing that is called inferential statistics. So we're going to be building off of our toolkit of the descriptive statistics. We're certainly going to be able to need to know and understand things like mean and variance and standard deviation and so on and so forth. But what we're going to be doing now is not trying to describe our data, but we're going to be collecting data on 2 groups or 3 groups or something like this, and then you're going to be looking at those means, the differences between the mean differences between the groups. And if you find any differences in your sample, you're then going to want to infer that those differences would also be differences that you would find in your population. And so that's just a small and brief review of descriptive statistics. I realize we're talking about things here that we've already gone over, and if anything is fuzzy, I would encourage you to go back and look at the videos either on measurement scales or variable types, or any of the videos on the descriptive statistics. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video.